New Minecraft has lost its charm. I play old Minecraft, mainly versions like beta and alpha. And upon making the switch over a year ago, I feel like I have regained pieces of an experience that I was so desperately missing with modern Minecraft. We all know and love Minecraft. It has been around for over a decade now, and it's a game that has defined generations. I mean, it's the best-selling game for a reason. But somewhere along the way, the charm that made it feel special, that raw, lo-fi, mysterious, and even lonely atmosphere, started to fade. Here is why I think new Minecraft has lost its charm.
I think with modern Minecraft, one of the clearest examples of its changing charm is the generation. And that is also including structure generation, considering the fact that there's so many different structures now than there were back then. But back in older versions, the terrain felt a lot more unique. It was clunky, abnormal, and always felt vast. There were floating islands, giant cliffs that made no sense, and landscapes that felt like they were slopped together. But that weirdness was what made the world feel so special. Each world felt captivating with its new interesting sights. And you could say now modern Minecraft has more grand and exciting mountains to explore, or really deep dark caves due to the Caves and Cliffs update. But they're too realistic. And that's a big problem I think I have with new Minecraft. It completely misses the mark of what the game is supposed to be. It makes the world feel almost repetitive, a sequence, or formed the way biomes generate. You don't need to make something realistic for it to be good, and part of that charm of old Minecraft was that wonky, nonsensical, unrealistic, fantasy-inspired generation. Things aren't supposed to make sense. It is an open sandbox game. It gives you some tools and the space to create whatever you want. I think back to older alpha versions a lot because the generation changed quite a bit throughout the years, especially in the beginning stages of beta. But the old alpha world type hits that mark of what I consider to be the perfect Minecraft generation. It really felt like an indie game. It wasn't perfect or polished. It was exactly what it needed to be. And one of my favorite types of generation, which was honestly more of a glitch than anything, was monoliths. Monoliths were added after the introduction of Infinite Worlds in InfDev, and it would spawn these giant, massive, towering pieces of land that would go all the way up to build height, and it would stretch out for chunks. I played on a couple worlds with monoliths, and it's very fun to explore and kind of see what you can build around or in the monolith. But they are a perfect example of that strange generation that so greatly describes the uncanny world of what Minecraft should be. Another big shift is the way progression feels and is handled. In old Minecraft, the smallest milestones carried weight. Finding iron, gold, and diamonds felt like a major achievement, and it was exciting. I mean, almost everyone can recall the moment they found their first vein of diamonds. It was near monumental. Even the grind to obtain materials feels more rewarding. Spending hours or days collecting items and finally finishing that one specific build felt like an epic feat. Today, progression feels flatter, and not as rewarding. Modern days, the game keeps evolving forward, with no time to breathe. Iron is barely a stepping stone now, and copper is almost useless. Diamonds used to be an endgame item, and now they're just a pit stop on the way to obtain netherite. Speaking back to structure generations, back then it would be exciting to find your first dungeon and obtain some rarer materials. Nowadays, there's a village plastered everywhere you look, and villagers can hand you fully enchanted diamond gear with almost no effort at all. That sense of reward is dulled now, due to the game constantly giving you shortcuts and upgrades. I'm also not fully saying there isn't any grinds now. Obviously some stuff takes a little work, but it doesn't feel as rewarding or invoke a feeling of accomplishment like it did back in older versions. Back then, it felt like you had to survive. It was you versus the world. And every milestone meant something, and now it's easy to skip ahead. It makes every achievement feel hollow and meaningless. Instead of slowing down and enjoying each stage, progression is now solely about rushing through tiers of gear and crazily complicated farms in Redstone. I mean, even Redstone feels more like a reward in older playthroughs. There was such a limited variety of items, and you really had to use your imagination to figure out how to come up with complicated systems. There were barely any tutorials, and you really had to work hard to make something work. the charm of old Minecraft was that it didn't need to hold these endless floods of rewards in front of you. The reward was simply surviving through another night, finishing that perfect base, or even a simple minecart booster. It was all about the journey, not sprinting towards the end. I'm clumping this section together mainly because they go hand in hand with each other, but in the earliest versions of Minecraft, simplicity was pretty much the entire experience. The game only offered a handful of blocks and items, along with a few basic mechanics. And this goes right back into game progression. Because of the limited features, progress felt straightforward. You'd punch trees, you'd make tools, you'd go mining, and you'd build bases. There were no distractions or unnecessary layered systems. And there were no long lists of features to keep track of. I know today it's hard to keep track of all the features that they have added and what works and what doesn't. Nowadays, features feel like they are only added to keep the game being talked about, not for actual use factors. Copper was added updates ago, and it never really had a full use until now, with the addition of copper golems and gear in the next update. Completely unnecessary things are always added to almost every update. They added happy gas, they added sniffers. And while they have some features that kinda go in hand with the gameplay loop, nothing of actual value is added besides things that make money for toys, for plushies. Minecraft has always had merchandise, but I feel like now Mojang sorely bases everything off a profit and what they can sell to people, especially with the introduction of the marketplace feature on Bedrock. Old Minecraft has its fair share of useless items, but they felt more complete and more belonging than they do now. With the simple nature of old Minecraft, building was very straight to the point. You never had to worry about a block palette, and you didn't have to scroll through pages of a creative inventory to find those blocks. I do enjoy having a wide selection of blocks and items to choose from, but after a while it becomes overcluttered, and you start really overthinking what you're building. And after that, you start to lose a little bit of motivation to build because of having all of those unnecessary building blocks. As Minecraft has grown, it has also grown more complicated. What made the game so special in the beginning was how simple it was to pick up and play, and the amount of depth that came from that simplicity alone. Now, that simplicity not only shaped the gameplay loop, but also how it looked. The original programmer art was rough and vibrant, and the lack of smooth lighting seemed far more fitting in a blocky sandbox game. Today, the colors are muted, they're dulled, and have more realistic features than they did back then. Again, being realistic does not always mean it's good. I don't know about you, but try building a house with the old lighting and textures. I guarantee you it looks far better than it would in modern with updated graphics. While the early aesthetic wasn't realistic, it was, however, iconic. It provided an atmosphere like no other, and it always made the game feel charming. One of the most powerful parts of early Minecraft was the music. C418's tracks weren't just constant background noise. They would drift slowly in and out, randomly, and most times they would leave you in silence. That unpredictability made the music feel more emotional than it does now, like it was connected to the world itself rather than the game as a whole, or just layered over top of it. A simple piano melody playing while you mined or wandered the landscape gave the game a strange but beautiful feeling. In modern Minecraft, the music is still there, but the atmosphere has completely shifted. They've cut ties with C418, remaking many of his tracks and giving the newer ones a more cinematic and polished sound. There's a lot more variety, but they don't carry the same weight as the older ones did. The music often feels less central and more like one feature among many. The early soundscape worked because of its restraint. Long stretches of silence gave space for the simple songs to really have a lasting effect. All over social media, people reminisce about the early sounds of Minecraft. So many nostalgia videos flood the feeds with Minecraft Sweden playing over it. To many, they weren't just tracks, they were childhoods. Today, though, the sound design is a lot richer, but the subtle dreamlike quality that once defined the game's atmosphere is a lot harder to find. In conclusion,
I don't hate modern Minecraft, and it hasn't become a worse game. It's just become a different one. I still enjoy playing modern Minecraft with friends, especially dialing into the widely known 2-week Minecraft phase. But what was once a simple indie sandbox game has now evolved into a jam-packed, thrilling adventure game. The updates, the biomes, the new blocks, and the better mechanics have given players more to do than ever before. But in gaining all of that, the game has lost the charm that made it so special and appealing in the first place. Old Minecraft thrived because of what it didn't have. The rough edges, the empty landscapes, and the limited progression created the atmosphere that players remember so fondly. Maybe that's just the nature of growth, or maybe Minecraft has actually evolved into something different. Either way, all these reasons are why I think new Minecraft has lost its charm. This video is specifically just me trying to give a few reasons on why I think new Minecraft has lost its charm, and kind of insight onto why I play specifically older versions of Minecraft. And it's not because of nostalgia. I think a lot of the old Minecraft community is blinded by nostalgia, and nostalgia is not really a reason why I play it. I think specifically new Minecraft has lost its charm in the essence of all these reasons that I have told you here today, and it is why I continue to play older versions. I would also love to hear your guys' thoughts on why you play new Minecraft compared to old, or why you play old Minecraft compared to new. It's very interesting kind of hearing everyone's different opinions. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is all strictly my opinion, so you don't have to agree with me. I also have many more in-depth reasons as to why I think new Minecraft has lost its charm, but I just wanted to go over a few today and kind of get this off my chest. I appreciate you guys for joining me, and I hope that you all have a great day. Take care.